Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to talk to you about something we've all felt, something we've all experienced, and yet something most of us try to avoid: sleepless nights. Those long hours when the world is quiet, when everyone else is resting, but your mind is wide awake chasing a vision, fighting self-doubt, and carrying the weight of dreams that seem too heavy for the daylight. Sleepless nights are not just about restlessness. They are the birthplace of breakthroughs. They are the hours when character is built, when ideas are tested, and when your hunger for success is measured. Because let's be honest, success doesn't arrive politely at 9 a.m. with a cup of coffee. It often knocks on your door at 2 a.m. when your body is tired but your spirit refuses to quit. Tonight, I want to remind you that sleepless nights are not your enemy. They are your investment. They are the price you pay for an overnight success that the world will one day call lucky. Even though you and I will know it was earned in silence, in sacrifice, and in the dark hours when no one was watching. Sleepless nights are not a sign of struggle, but a season of preparation where discipline, resilience, and vision are forged. When most people hear the phrase sleepless nights, they immediately think of exhaustion, of worry, of stress that keeps them tossing and turning, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the sun to rise. But sleepless nights have another meaning, a deeper one, a meaning that belongs to those who dare to chase greatness. They are the nights when your mind refuses to shut down because your dreams are bigger than your comfort, when you stay awake not because of fear, but because of fire burning in your chest. It is in those hours, when the world grows still, that your discipline is tested in ways no book or classroom could ever teach you. Anyone can work hard during the day when there are deadlines, meetings, and people holding them accountable, but only a few have the self-control to grind in the silence of midnight when no one is checking on them, when the only accountability they have is to themselves. That is where true discipline is forged, in the quiet choices that no one applauds, in the sacrifices that no one sees, in the consistency that demands more of you than your body is willing to give. Resilience is built in these hours too, because sleepless nights do not always feel productive. There are nights you will stare at your screen, rewrite the same sentence, rehearse the same idea, or try and fail again and again. It is frustrating, it is draining, and sometimes it feels pointless. But every single one of those nights is shaping you, teaching you how to stand when you are tired, how to push when you are empty, how to fight when no one is cheering. Resilience does not come from comfort, it comes from friction, from pushing against the resistance of your own fatigue and self-doubt. It is in the sleepless nights that you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, that your vision is worth the discomfort, and that nothing, not even the need for rest, will stop you from pursuing what you were born to do. Every time you stay up to refine your craft, to study just a little longer, to build just one more piece of your dream, you are telling the universe that your commitment is greater than your craving for ease. And that message, repeated night after night, becomes the foundation of unshakable resilience. Vision is also sharpened in those long, quiet hours. During the day, distractions pull you in every direction. People talk, phones ring, demands pile up, and your clarity gets clouded. But in the stillness of the night, your vision finds space to breathe. Your mind has the freedom to see the bigger picture, to imagine possibilities without interference, to create with no boundaries. Sleepless nights allow you to sit with your dreams, to visualize them so clearly that they feel real before they ever exist. Vision requires solitude, it requires reflection, it requires the kind of focus that only comes when the rest of the world is asleep. Those sleepless nights are where you can think without interruption, plan without pressure, and dream without limits. They become the laboratory where ideas are born, tested, and refined, and where your purpose becomes sharper than ever before. But sleepless nights do more than prepare you, they separate you. Most people will never willingly embrace discomfort. Most people will always choose the pillow over the process, rest over resistance, comfort over challenge. That is why the majority settle for ordinary, while a few rise to extraordinary. When you commit to working through sleepless nights, you are quietly separating yourself from the crowd. You are showing a level of hunger that others cannot match, a level of determination that others cannot understand. They may look at you and call you crazy, obsessed, or reckless. But when the results come, when the success shows up, they will look at you with awe because you chose to do what they would not. Sleepless nights are the price of entry into the arena of excellence. and only those willing to pay it will ever step onto that stage. Discipline, resilience, and vision are not built in comfort. They are built in conflict. And there is no greater conflict than the one between your body that craves rest and your spirit that craves progress. Every sleepless night is a battlefield where that war takes place. And every time you choose to keep going, you win another small victory for your future self. These victories stack up night after night until they transform you into a different person. The kind of person who can handle the weight of success when it finally comes. Because make no mistake, success is heavy. It demands responsibility, it demands consistency, it demands strength. And if you are not prepared, it will crush you instead of carry you. Sleepless nights are your training ground. They are the hidden gym where your mental and emotional muscles are strengthened, where your character is shaped into something capable of carrying everything you are working for. So when you find yourself awake at 1 a.m., when your body is begging for sleep but your mind is urging you to keep building, do not see it as punishment. See it as preparation. Recognize that you are in a sacred season where every extra hour you give is planting seeds for a harvest the world will one day witness. The nights may be long, the process may be lonely, and the sacrifices may be painful, but those hours are writing a story that only you will understand. They are the quiet proof that you are willing to do what others are not, that you are committed on a level that most people cannot imagine. And that is why sleepless nights are not something to fear or resent. They are your advantage, your crucible, your path to greatness. They are the unseen hours that prepare you for the moment when the world finally sees you and calls you an overnight success. Overnight success is never truly overnight. It is the accumulation of unseen sacrifices made when the world was asleep. We live in a culture that loves instant gratification. People want quick results, fast wins, and easy victories. They see someone rise to fame, build a thriving business, or achieve something extraordinary, and they label it as overnight success. But what they never see, what they never talk about, is the years of sacrifice, the quiet struggles, the hidden battles that person fought long before the spotlight ever found them. Success looks sudden on the outside, but it is always gradual on the inside. It is built brick by brick, choice by choice, hour by hour, while the rest of the world sleeps soundly unaware of the grind happening in silence. Those unseen sacrifices don't look glamorous. They are not shared on social media, they are not applauded by crowds, and they rarely feel rewarding in the moment. They look like saying no to late-night distractions so you can stay focused on your craft. They look like missing out on gatherings, ignoring temptations, and giving up the easy path in favor of the harder, longer road. They look like nights spent revising, rehearsing, rebuilding after failure, and questioning whether it's even worth it. These sacrifices often feel invisible because nobody claps for you while you're making them, but they are exactly what build the foundation that the world will one day celebrate as overnight success. Think of the athlete who wins a gold medal and is suddenly called a star. What people see is the moment on the podium, the medal around their neck, the pride in their eyes. What they don't see are the mornings that started before the sun rose, the evenings when exhaustion screamed louder than motivation, the endless repetitions, and the countless times they pushed through pain when no one was watching. That moment of glory is only possible because of the hidden sacrifices that no one else will ever fully understand. The same is true for the entrepreneur who suddenly becomes the face of innovation. People see the launch, the breakthrough, the recognition. They don't see the failures, the debt, the doubts, the endless nights spent building something out of nothing. Overnight success is simply the world finally noticing what has been happening in the dark for years. Sacrifice is what turns dreams into reality. Without it, success is just a fantasy. Every great achievement has been paid for in advance through time, energy, and effort that most people are unwilling to give. It's easy to want success, but it's hard to embrace the sacrifices required to earn it. And the truth is, these sacrifices never feel comfortable. They stretch you, they break you, and they often make you question whether the destination is worth the journey. But it is in those moments of sacrifice where your character is shaped, where your priorities are tested, and where your hunger for success is proven. If you are not willing to make unseen sacrifices, you are not truly willing to succeed. What makes overnight success so deceiving is how invisible the preparation is. You don't see the author staring at a blank page for hours before finishing the masterpiece that later becomes a bestseller. You don't see the singer performing in empty bars before filling arenas. You don't see the business owner working in a small garage before moving into skyscrapers. All you see is the highlight, the polished result, the moment when the world pays attention. But behind that highlight is a trail of invisible sacrifices that stretch for years, sometimes decades. And it's important to understand this because if you are chasing success, you cannot expect it to appear out of nowhere. You must be willing to put in the work that no one claps for, to give up things that others cling to sacrifice in silence, knowing that the reward is coming later. Another truth about unseen sacrifices is that they are deeply personal. No two people will sacrifice the same things in the same way. For one person, it might mean financial struggles and living with less so they can invest everything into their dream. For another, it might mean long distance from loved ones while pursuing opportunities. For someone else, it might mean countless failures before finally getting it right. These sacrifices are unique to the journey, but what they all share is that they are unseen by the public eye. No one will ever fully know what you gave up to get where you are, and that's okay. Success doesn't require recognition for every sacrifice. It requires commitment to keep sacrificing anyway. And here's the powerful thing, those sacrifices compound. One sacrifice may not make a difference, but hundreds of them, thousands of them, made consistently over time, build momentum that cannot be stopped. Each sacrifice is like a small deposit into a bank account that eventually pays out as success. The catch is that you don't know when the payoff will come. That's why so many people quit before their breakthrough. They give up in the middle of the sacrifice, not realizing how close they are to seeing the results. Overnight success only looks overnight because people quit watching too early. They didn't see the final straw that broke through after years of building pressure. So if you ever find yourself doubting whether your sacrifices are worth it, remember this: you are building something invisible right now that will one day become undeniable. The long nights, the missed opportunities, the things you gave up that no one else will ever know about, they are stacking up to create a moment of success that will look effortless to the outside world. They will call it luck. They will call it talent. They will call it overnight success. But you will know the truth. You will know it was sacrifice. And that knowledge, that deep understanding of what you endured and what you gave, is what makes the success even sweeter. Overnight success is not magic, it is math. It is the sum of every unseen sacrifice multiplied by time, consistency, and resilience. It is not gifted, it is earned. And the people who reach it are not the ones who wish the hardest, but the ones who sacrificed the most when no one was watching. If you want to build something extraordinary, stop looking for shortcuts and start making sacrifices. Stop waiting for easy and start embracing the hard.